You wake up every morning not knowing what kind of day your back is going to give you. You brace before you get out of bed, you calculate every movement before you make it, and you've started avoiding things you used to do without even thinking. Bending down, lifting, sitting through a full day of work. And you've spent thousands trying to fix this. Physio, chiro, injections. Maybe you're even thinking that surgery might have to be your next option. And every single time that you invest your money and your hope and effort into something, it gave you a few days of relief, but it still always brought you back to square one. So now you're here, watching this, wondering if there's anything left for you to actually try. I'm going to show you exactly what working with me looks like and why it's genuinely different from everything you've already been through. Let's start with the thing that's probably stopping you from doing anything right now. You've already spent thousands and nothing has worked for you. So why would this be any different? And that's completely fair to think. You know, if I'd been through what you'd been through, I'd be asking exactly the same question, and so many of my amazing clients in the past have asked the same questions before as well. But here's what I want you to think about. Every single penny you've spent has gone on managing your pain, calming it down, and just buying you a few days or maybe a week or two of relief before the cycle eventually starts again. Physio manages symptoms, chiropractors manage symptoms, injections just mask the pain and manage symptoms as well. Nobody or nothing has actually focused on rebuilding your back from the ground up. And that's not your fault. That's the gap that the system has left, because the system is built around appointments and treatments, not around you. The money you've spent hasn't been wasted on bad decisions. It's just been spent on the wrong type of help. There's a difference, and the difference is everything. Because for the first time, what if you actually invested in something that was built around you and suited to your exact life? Something which actually targeted what was going on. Not something that just calmed down symptoms, not something that just managed it, but something that actually fixed it. Something that actually rebuilt your back around your life. That is what working with me is like. So what actually makes this different? And I'm going to be completely straight with you, because you deserve the truth after everything you've been through. Everything you've tried has had two main things missing. The first is a structured, progressive rebuild transformation specifically designed around you. Not a generic program, not exercises pulled from a sheet that they gave to the person before and the person before that. A transformation built entirely around your back, your history, your starting point, your work, your life. Because here's the difference, just jumping on a back extension looks completely different for someone who can barely get out of bed in the morning versus someone who's managing okay and good days but terrified of the bad ones. Those two people are completely different. The plan and the transformation cannot be the same, whereas traditional appointments and traditional approaches will just give these two people the same thing. As good as the back extension is, 100%, I use that with a lot of people, one exercise isn't the answer. The structure and progression around multiple exercises and movements is. I had a client, his name was Mark, he was 42 and he was a dad of 3. I first started working with him and he'd already tried everything. Again, physio, chiro, injections a lot, and he had seen a doctor and they had mentioned surgery, and this was something that he wanted to avoid, which I'm sure you do as well. The first thing I told him was, you haven't been given a plan around you, just like what we've been over. You've been given generic advice that was never going to work long term for your specific situation. And that was just different from everything that he'd tried before. The second thing that's been missing, and this is the one that no one talks about, is daily support. Back pain doesn't happen on a schedule. You know that. It can be random. The flare-ups can be so random. And it definitely doesn't just wait for your next appointment to pop up. You've maybe been and seen someone and you're like, oh, I can't describe the pain because it's not really here today. But yesterday or the week before it was excruciating, and I know next week it's going to be excruciating. It's random. It can happen at 7 a.m. on a Tuesday when you can't get your socks on. It can happen when you sneeze or bend down to pick something up, and you then spend the next week terrified to even do any small movement again. It happens on the days when the anxiety hits and you genuinely don't know whether to push through or rest or both. Every single person that I've worked with has said the same thing. Having someone in their corner on those days and every other day around it changes everything. Not booking another physio appointment 3 weeks down the line, not having to Google search or chat GPT symptoms, but someone who actually knows the full story, their history, their life, available for support every single day. This is what was always missing, and that's what you get with me. So let me just walk you through exactly what working with me looks like from day one. Before we do anything, I need to understand you completely. Your diagnosis, your history, everything you've tried. What your life actually looks like day to day, because without that, I'm just another person giving generic advice. I'm just another public healthcare physio. Then we build your transformation. Then we start phase 1 of the rebuild, specifically around your starting point, where you're at right now. Every single day, you have direct access to me. When the bad days hit, when you're unsure, when something doesn't feel right, you're not alone with it. You have someone who knows your full story and can actually give you a real answer. Again, you no longer have to Google or chat GPT anything, because let's be honest, it'll give you one answer one day, then another answer the other day. And at minimum, very minimum, once per week, we're jumping on a Zoom call together. And this is just to review exactly where you are. We look at what's working, what needs adjusting, and what the next phase actually looks like as well. This transformation evolves around your progress, not a fixed program that just stays the same regardless of how you're doing or what you're doing. And then of course we build the next phase after that. Again, this has to be around your life, just like everything else. And since it's around your life, it's something that you can do consistently, because consistency over time is perfection. And this is what actually rebuilds our back. And that's how amazingly we were able to get Mark playing football in the garden again with his kids after just 12 weeks. Not because of a miracle, not because it just got better over time, but because for the first time, he had a structured, progressive transformation built entirely around him. And he had someone in his corner every single day, making sure it worked, making adjustments when needed, and just keeping track of progress. Surgery was never mentioned again. And here's what I want you to picture for a second. Imagine waking up on a Monday morning and just getting up. No bracing, no calculating, no second guessing, no dreading what your back is going to be like today. Imagine sitting through a full day at work and realising at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you haven't even thought about your back once. Imagine bending down to pick something up, your kids, maybe just something off the floor, maybe you drop a pen, and not having that split second of fear that your back might go every time. And imagine getting through a full week without a flare-up and thinking, is this really what normal feels like again? That's not a dream. That's what happens when your back is actually rebuilt. Not managed, not treated, rebuilt with the right transformation and the right access and support. The people I work with don't just get out of pain. That's just a small part of the journey. They get their life back. They stop letting their back make every single decision for them, and they show up for their family in a way that they haven't been able to for years. That's what this is about. Not exercises, not appointments, a life without your back running the show. If you've watched this whole video, you already know something is different here. You're not broken. The money you've spent hasn't been wasted on bad decisions. It just went on the wrong type of help. If you're done spending money and putting time and effort into things that don't last, and you're ready for something built entirely around you and someone in your corner every single step of the way, the link is in the description below. You can apply to work with me directly. You can tell me your story, where you're at, how long it's been, and what you've already tried. And we can just have a real conversation and see if we would be a good fit for each other.